Hi, my name's Tony Morrow, and this is Introduction to Project Management. We're about halfway through the planning process group, and planning makes up the largest part of our project life cycle. As mentioned before, the greatest pitfalls of any project or failures will be on budget, on time, or staying in scope. So getting the planning piece done and done right early is important. Otherwise, the project will cost more, be late, or involve fewer features than were originally intended. Maybe all three. Today, we are going to focus on quality and the planning that goes into ensuring our standards are met. The PMBOK defines plan quality management as the process of identifying requirements and/or standards for the project and its deliverables, and documenting how the project will demonstrate compliance with quality requirements and/or standards. When you go into the grocery store and see 100% Canadian beef, extra large free-range eggs, or certified organic avocados, those are standards where farmers have to meet the requirements in order to get those labels. These quality standards exist across products and services, from building codes to government regulations. In your workplace, you likely have quality standards, like in our example of providing services to citizens, where paperwork needs to be processed within a certain time. Thresholds to qualify for programs and services need to be met, or how long union members can work before needing a coffee break. In all these examples, we have to plan and identify what the standards are and how we are going to meet them. It is important to identify quality versus grade. When we refer to quality, we are referring to the level of conformance to a standard. Building codes are a minimum standard. Pass-fail criteria in academics are quality standards, and certified organic is a conformance standard in Canada. In the example of meat, double or triple A beef is a measure of grade. 100% Canadian or certified organic is a measure of conformance to a quality standard. When planning on how to manage quality, there can be several approaches that can be taken. The most expensive is usually letting the customer find defects. This can result in product recalls, warranty costs, loss of reputation, and rework costs. Do you read and review emails and documents before sending them off? If your email is addressed to the wrong person, or there are spelling and grammar mistakes in your documents, how will that reflect on you or your team? The second is to detect and correct mistakes or defects before the deliverables are sent to the customer as part of the quality control process. Review your emails or documents before you hit send. It takes a little more time, but saves you the cost of reputation loss, rework, or recall. We can use quality assurance to examine and correct the process, not just the special defects in our product. Most writers create drafts that are reviewed by editors to act as quality assurance. Inspectors validate quality and certify the products that they inspect. We can incorporate quality into the planning and designing of the product. This could involve employing a specifically qualified staff, for example, a PMP, project manager, certain quality components, or proven plans or processes. Finally, culture. People are doing the work in your team and your project. Ensure that your organization is aware and committed to quality and reinforces this in their policies, processes, and products. Taking all this into account, it raises the issue of the cost of quality. The PMBOK defines the cost of quality as all the cost incurred over the life of the product by investment in preventing non-conformance to requirements, appraisals of the product or service for conformance to requirements, and failure to meet requirements. In other words, how much time and money do we have to spend setting up systems or processes, reviewing or inspecting, or recalling and replacing our product or deliverable? In order to put together our quality management plan, we will need a few things. Requirements management plan, which came out of planning our scope in episode 5 and is part of our overall project management plan. This can sometimes be referred to as a business analysis plan. It clearly lays out our requirements, how they will be tracked and reported. The plan will prioritize the requirements and provide metrics on how to measure them. A traceability matrix can be included to capture specific requirement attributes and a plan on how any changes to the requirements will be evaluated, tracked, or reported, and what levels of authority will be required to do these changes. We'll need our scope baseline and two items that we don't have yet: the risk management plan and stakeholder management plan. We will cover these in an upcoming episode, but as we've already identified our stakeholders and we have an initial risk assessment in our project charter, we can move ahead and revisit this after. To go along with those elements, we'll use our list of assumptions or assumptions log and our documents around requirements and that traceability matrix I just mentioned, as well as our list of risks, the risk register, and our list of stakeholders, the stakeholder register. Add in our Fs and OPAs, and we are ready to go. As before, we will tap into expert judgment with expertise in quality, measurement, assurance, improvement systems, and control. We will include data and benchmark our plan with other similar products to provide analogous comparisons. With that data, brainstorm with our project team, stakeholders, sponsors, and experts to develop our plan. You may want to have interviews with stakeholders to better understand their requirements. With all that information in hand, you can assess the cost of quality as we discussed earlier in the episode. And you may do a cost of benefit analysis to compare the cost of conforming to quality standards versus the cost of not conforming. What is the cost to a client or the organization for not meeting quality standards? When complete, you will have determined some or all of the quality standards used in the project, the quality objectives of the project, the roles and responsibilities in regards to quality, deliverables and processes subject to quality review, quality control and management activities planned for the project, quality tools that will be used, and what-if procedures for dealing with non-conformance, corrective action, and continuous improvement, and the metrics that you will measure quality by. With this part of the plan complete, we need to review and update our scope baseline, stakeholder registry, the requirement traceability matrix, if we have one, lessons learned register, and our risk register and management plan, which we will cover shortly in an upcoming episode. In today's episode, we defined and explored planning quality management, quality versus grade, and the cost of quality. In our next episode, we'll talk about the stuff we need to do our project. Resources. With this part of the plan...